On February 21st, 1965, a man walked onto a stage in New York City preparing to deliver a message of liberation. 52 hours later, he was dead. 59 years later, we're still uncovering who really killed him. This is the story of Malcolm X, not the caricature they sold you, but the revolutionary intellectual who became too dangerous to live. Born Malcolm Little in Omaha, Nebraska in 1925, his early life was marked by white supremacist violence. His father, a Baptist preacher and follower of Marcus Garvey's Black nationalist movement, faced threats from the Ku Klux Klan. White terrorists burned their home, forcing the family to flee to Lansing, Michigan. In 1931, his father was killed. Authorities claimed suicide, but the family knew the truth. He was murdered by the Black Legion, a white supremacist group. By the 1940s, Malcolm had drifted into the streets of Harlem, hustling, dealing, running from the life his father's activism had set in motion. In 1946, at age 21, he was arrested for burglary and received a 10-year prison sentence. But prison wasn't an ending, it was a transformation. Behind bars, Malcolm encountered the teachings of Elijah Muhammad in the Nation of Islam. He entered an intense program of self-education, took the name Malcolm X to symbolize his stolen African identity, and rejected the slave name that colonialism had imposed on his people. In 1952, he emerged reborn. Not as Malcolm Little, not as a street hustler, but as a minister, a weapon for the nation. By July 1959, CBS aired Mike Wallace's documentary, The Hate That Hate Produced, which revealed the Nation of Islam's ideology and made Malcolm X the principal public face of the movement. White America watched this articulate, fearless black man speak truths about systemic racism that no other mainstream leader dared voice. He was the enemy they couldn't ignore. But here's where it gets dangerous for the powers that be. Malcolm evolved. In November 1963, after the Kennedy assassination, Malcolm violated orders by commenting on JFK's death with "chickens coming home to roost," suggesting divine retribution for American racism. Elijah Muhammad suspended him for 90 days. The breaking point had arrived. On March 8, 1964, Malcolm announced his break with the Nation of Islam and founded the Muslim Mosque, Inc., followed by the Organization of Afro-American Unity, a strictly political organization. He was no longer bound by NOI constraints. He was free to become something far more dangerous, a revolutionary intellect. 30 days later came the speech that changed everything. On April 12, 1964, at King Solomon Baptist Church in Detroit, Malcolm X delivered the Ballot or the Bullet, the fullest declaration of his Black nationalist philosophy. But listen to what he said. It's time for us to submerge our differences and realize that it is best for us to first see that we have the same problem. A common problem, a problem that will make you catch hell whether you're a Baptist or a Methodist or a Muslim or a nationalist. This wasn't separatism, this was unification, and it terrified the establishment. That April, Malcolm embarked on an overseas tour that included a pilgrimage to Mecca, the Muslim holy city. The racial diversity he experienced among Muslims from across the world led him to discard strict notions of black separatism for a wider, more inclusive movement against white supremacy and colonialism worldwide. He returned transformed, no longer just a black nationalist, but an internationalist. He had looked into the eyes of Muslims from every race, every nation, and realized the real enemy was imperialism, not whiteness itself. By late 1964, Malcolm was in Africa, received like a visiting head of state in Egypt, Nigeria, Tanzania, Kenya, and Ghana. He was building a global coalition of anti-imperialist movements. He was organizing, he was connecting the liberation struggles of Africa, Asia, and Latin America to the Black Revolution in America. Then on February 15, 1965, his home in Queens was firebombed while his wife Betty and 4 children slept inside. A week later, he was dead. On February 21, 1965, at the Audubon Ballroom in Washington Heights, Malcolm X was gunned down as he addressed his Organization of Afro-American Unity. His pregnant wife Betty and 4 daughters took cover in the front row. The autopsy identified 21 gunshot wounds, 10 from an initial shotgun blast, additional wounds from semi-automatic weapons. 3 Nation of Islam members were convicted. Case closed. Except it wasn't. For nearly 60 years, something didn't add up. In November 2021, 2 of the 3 convicted men were exonerated after investigators discovered key FBI documents had been withheld from the defense and prosecution during the original 1966 trial. The evidence that could have freed innocent men had been buried for decades. But that's just the beginning of the conspiracy. On his deathbed, a former NYPD officer confessed in writing that he had been assigned by BOSSI, a police surveillance unit, to undermine Malcolm X's security by framing his bodyguards on felony charges so they couldn't protect him on the day of the assassination. He wrote, "I was not aware that Malcolm X was the target at the time, but looking back, the operation was designed to leave Malcolm exposed." And it worked. In November 2024, Malcolm X's family filed a $100 million civil lawsuit against the NYPD, CIA, and FBI, alleging that federal and local law enforcement conspired in the assassination, knew about the plot, failed to intervene, and spent decades covering it up. Think about this. A man walks into a ballroom with about 400 people present, but records show there were 9 police informants inside. An undercover NYPD officer was there. Yet somehow multiple gunmen got through. Malcolm's security had been disabled. Police presence was conspicuously absent. The crime scene was deliberately compromised. Was it the Nation of Islam? Or was it something far more calculated, a state operation to eliminate a man who had become a bridge between domestic liberation movements and international anti-imperialism? We don't have the full truth. The files remain classified. The agencies still refuse to release complete documents. But what we do know is this: Malcolm X was eliminated at the exact moment he became most dangerous, when he had transcended the narrow confines of American racial politics and was building a global revolutionary consciousness. His assassination wasn't a crime of passion. It was an execution, a silencing, a warning to anyone else who might dare to connect the dots between American racism, imperialism, and colonialism across the globe. 59 years later, we're finally asking the right questions, and the answers are still being hidden. This is the real history, not the sanitized version, not the version they want you to accept. Here is what I need from you. If this story moved you, if you felt that shift from confusion to clarity, comment below. Tell me, did you know about Malcolm's transformation? Did you know about the exonerations in 2021? Or is this the first time you're hearing that the official narrative doesn't hold up? Like this video. Share it with someone who needs to understand that the most dangerous threat to the establishment isn't a bomb, it's a mind too brilliant to control. And subscribe to Ikemefuna History TV. We don't just tell history, we uncover what they've buried. Every week, we go deeper into the resistance, the revolution, the truth that power once forgotten. Malcolm X believed that, of all our studies, history is best qualified to reward our research. We're doing that research. We're telling that story. History doesn't move forward if we don't push it. Truth doesn't emerge if we don't demand it. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Become part of the movement that refuses to let these stories die in the archives. Because the only way power survives is through our silence, and we're not silent anymore.